Yeah, you're wrong.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Robert Link, and this is the Executive Nominating Committee for Planning Board 12 in the Bronx. We have a quorum. I'll introduce the nominating committee members. Myself, Bobby Link, Wayne Palma, Alfredo Figueroa, who's here, Vegas Bear, who's here, Sherry Samuels. The first order of business is we have to select the committee chair. Do we have a nomination?
Yes. Bob, you, Bobby.
Okay. Does anyone second the nomination?
Yes.
Okay, everyone in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay, so we have a chair. Next, we need to discuss and approve the next steps in our committee goals. I had reached out to the current members of the executive committee and confirmed that they are all running for re-election. So that's Beatrice Coronel as the chairperson, Clinton Mike, first vice chair, John Isaac, second vice chair, Judith Benitez, correspondence secretary, Michelle Greenfield Armstrong, recording secretary, and Talene Dickerson, treasurer. All those people will be running for re-election. Has anyone heard any discussion of other candidates or anyone else planning to run? Anybody online? Okay, so I guess, and I'm interested if anyone has any other thoughts on this. The next step would be that at the next meeting, we will allow anyone to come forward and make a presentation to this committee about whether or not they're going to challenge any of the existing executive committee members, about whether they're going to be running against them. Otherwise, this committee will meet next month and approve the current existing executive committee and make a recommendation to simply approve them for re-election.
Yeah, so the person is listening, so she can confirm or deny. My understanding of how it works is, this is the nominating committee. The next full board meeting, we'll say that we have a slate of candidates. Hopefully by then, we will have a resume or like a bio or something. Okay. And then you can give that to people. You will ask if there's anybody that wants to put nominations on the floor. So anybody can nominate anybody. Like, for example, if I was a board member, say, although it's not because you guys are on the nominating committee, but I can stand up and say, well, no, I have to Ariel, nominate Ariel for, whatever position. And then Ariel would say yay or nay. And then she would then have to comply with all the other stuff. But if nobody else does that, then the committee will present the slate of candidates. And then following full board meeting, we can actually election. Now, I don't know if in the past, because of the pandemic, they've allowed us to do I forget what it's called. It's like a poll, but on Google.
Right.
Electronic.
An electronic ballot.
Yeah, an electronic ballot. Or we can do, when we first started doing it, we had to put paper ballot, and just so that the board members understand, paper ballots have to have your name on it, has to have the candidates, and then you have to, choose whoever you want, and you have to sign, that this is how you voted. The voted is foilable, just in case anybody.
So it's got to be either an
Yeah.
electronic ballot or a paper ballot. It's going to have to be one or the other.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll have to make that determination. I guess we can make that determination at the next meeting.
Yeah,
Determination today.
yeah.
Who would we reach out to see if it could be done electronically?
I'll ask the VP's office. We do offer a hybrid model, so maybe we can do both. nominating. The, with the, Clinton did it the last couple of times, he was able to keep it open for a period of time, and we would tell board members, and then that way he could check and be like, oh, these people didn't vote, you have to get them to vote. So that was a very useful tool. But I don't know, I'll follow with if that's, I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't be possible. But again, we have some board members that are not necessarily comfortable with electronics, so we probably go for both.
Is the ballot going to be a list of candidates first, another list of candidates, or is it going to be to approve the recommendations of the nominating committee?
No, it's gonna be a list of candidates. So, I mean, let's back up. If there's nobody challenging, theoretically, all you need is one vote. So, but in the past, when we have had,
Okay.
it's so you just list the office, so chair, and then you the two candidates. The person checks off the circle, whatever they want, and then there's a signature line after that, so they can sign that they voted. We do that for every office.
So we're going to know this in a week and a half, whenever our next meeting is.
Yeah, you'll know the slate of candidates.
We'll know if there's a challenger
Right.
to the current executive committee. And then we'll have another meeting. We'll make a discussion about, how we're going to arrange a ballot and whatnot.
Ursula, you're listening. Am I missing anything? You're muted.
Yeah, she's speaking. Yeah, she wants her to sit down the hallway. There she's coming.
Oh, it's coming.
Sorry, it doesn't work. No, I think you were correct this time. I didn't hear you say that the secretary has to cast those.
Well, if there's no challenges, all you need is one vote. But if there's a ballot, then you have to have a quorum, and then we have to actually have like a legit vote. But I'm saying we can take nominations from the floor at our next full board meeting. Right?
So in a week and a half, I'll maybe introduce the fact that the executive committee is running for reelection. And now we want to open up the floor to see if anyone wants to challenge any of the existing officers. And
Bobby, it's executive officers, not executive members. Right? You said executive committee, it's executive officers.
yeah, the executive officers, if they're going to all run for reelection, does anybody want to nominate somebody who's not currently serving on that executive committee?
And if there is a new nomination, then I need a bio, because then I have to send it out to everybody.
Yeah, like if somebody,
Do they need to bring it to the next meeting, or do they?
They can just email.
that, like, let's, again, for argument's sake, who's here, Sheila, let's say Sheila, who's a board member, or Ted, who's a board member, who's also not on the nominating committee, says, I nominate Ariel, or vice versa, Ariel nominates another board. And so then you, as the chair of the nominating committee, you can say, do you accept that position? And they say, yay, and then now we have an election. But if everybody declines, then we're good.
And in order to qualify, to challenge one of the executive committee members, you merely need someone to nominate you in a second.
And you have to meet the eligibility requirement of being on the board for more than 2 years. The rule.
I don't remember the rule. I remember
No, technically it does, I know it should, but,
So then you just walk off the street and,
well, a board member, yeah, I mean,
So can we, maybe for the meeting, let's make sure and have those.
no, it's in our bylaws, so I'll yeah. But yeah, that's just the eligibility requirement. We all take board members who have less than 2 years, but I don't think that's anybody anymore.
I've been less than 2.
Less than two.
Okay, is there anything else we need to discuss?
And then by June, we'll have to vote, right? Like if everything goes along swimmingly, we'll have to vote in June, like I
And so
said.
we have to give them a time frame Right, like that's what you're saying with Clinton Day.
Well, so yeah, so we did it if we do it virtually, the vote, if we do the poll or whatever it's called, we could get like 2 weeks notice, like, on June 1st, we close out our, meeting, close it June 20th. We tell all our board members, and then, like if you're running, Bobby, you can tell me like, oh, these people haven't voted yet, then we can call them up and be like, you have to vote. But again, if there's no challenge, then as Ursula said, the secretary can just submit one vote and then it's over. Because there's no challenge.
But you said there's a window of 2 weeks for the vote.
If we do the poll, we were saying that if, in the past, we've done virtual.
Okay.
It's like Google Docs, it's like a poll, so you put everybody's name in it and then you just, they go into it and they vote on it. WebEx does the same thing, but that's actually a day of. We didn't like that. Because then you have to break everybody who's not, you have to kick everybody who's not a board member out for like a brief period, let them vote, and then, so we did a Google Doc.
You have to have the time on there also, like it
Yeah.
ends whatever day,
Yeah,
by a certain time.
yeah, so like if we opened it in June, it would be June 1st to like June 20th. And then, we'll have the tally, like we'll unveil the tally and then after that, like you'll have the new chair, the June meeting, and then the committee would just meet one more time to certify the results. And it's over.
But if in a week and a half, we have our full board meeting and nobody is running for, or no one is nominated to challenge any of the executive committee members, then it's just going to be, do we need to meet again?
Yeah, you don't have to meet again, you just have to bring it to the board and the secretary has to cast one vote for the
So
meeting.
that's what we'll do in June. There'll be
Yeah.
no surprise candidates in June.
Yeah, I mean, you certify it then too.
But if there's no candidates in a week and a half, that's it. It's closed off.
So everyone went to the vote, right? Then,
Yeah.
first, we'll go to the secretary, who just certify the,
Yeah. You just have to vote, that's all.
okay, gotcha.
Is there, do we still have the poll that we did, like Clinton did, that we can share with them so he can see how it was done?
I'd have to check my office.
You feel like you have it?
Yeah, we should still have, because,
So you can see how we did it?
yeah, we'll be,
But I think first we gotta get permission to see if we can still do that.
no, but I think we have to print it out, so we still have it, because we have to have it part of it, just for the law, so we have to keep on the part.
I'm sure Mike was just canceled on it as well.
We could,
So,
right?
like you're saying,
Uh,
if it's unposted, well, everyone knows that it's they have to show up, but I mean, if it's a vote.
I mean, in the past, I mean, our executive officers can tell you, some have run unopposed, it's not Florence plus.
Okay.
All right. Does anyone else want to speak or sum up? All right. I have a motion to close the meeting. Second? I second. Okay, this meeting is hereby closed.
You can stop recording.